times daily. Choose phone numbers from 0 to 9 and you can win up to $5,000 with a $1 inline bet.
Make sport and back it up too. That's right. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you.
Get your tickets Monday to Saturday for the Play 4 midday draw at 1:50 p.m. and the Play 4 night draw 9 p.m. So easy to play.
You'll win even more.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8 and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it. You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Roundtable Talk. This week we are talking the digital transformation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we have 3 special guests in studio this evening to talk about that. They are Albert Daniels, who is the Senior Manager, Stakeholder Engagement for the Caribbean, and he is with the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, known as ICANN. We also have Willis Williams, who is the coordinator of the Internet Governance Forum, also representing the Internet Society of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And of course, the forum forms part of that body. Yeah? Okay. And we have Winston George, who is the project coordinator, Caribbean Digital Transformation Program. Welcome to the program, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Some people may know that there's a huge event happening in St. Vincent at the moment. It's a roadshow, and it's being organized by ISOC SVG in collaboration with ICANN and Caribnog, as well as other partners and stakeholders. Willis, tell us about the birth of this initiative, why at this particular time, and what can we expect over the next 3 days or so?
This initiative was born in 2017, actually, the IGF. And it is something that is facilitated by ISOC. Let me tell you a little bit about ISOC. Because ISOC is really Internet Society, ISOC SVG chapter. ISOC is global. We have chapters around the Caribbean, around the world. In Latin America is referred to as LAC. And they are in all the other regions of the world. And I think the aim of ISOC is really to bring equal opportunity, internet opportunity, to everyone around the world. In St. Vincent, the objective is to have everyone have access to internet, free access to internet. That is of good quality, good speed, and that is safe and free. And of course, we have not achieved that, but that is what we are working towards that. We do different projects from time to time throughout the operational year that will get us to that end point. Right now, there's a Verifying project in that we're working on in the Vermont Verifying area. And that project is really to bring internet to the farmers in that area, the people who are way up in the mountain. And I've gone there, and I tell you, to get there is a feat. And to get internet there is a big exercise, and we are doing it. We had an opening some time ago, and the farmers are on board. The society is on board and so on. And so the Internet Society is really intermingling and meeting all different sorts of people across St. Vincent. And that is, I think that's what we are about. This week, the Internet Society of St. Vincent chapter is hosting IGF. IGF is the Internet Governance Forum. And this is basically an opportunity for people of different ilk to come together and discuss their internet concerns. Learn a little more about the internet. Learn what the internet has to offer. Give ideas of what they want from the internet. And so on. And what we do, that we have started, this exercise we have started since 2017. We had a break for 1 year because of COVID. And I think we are more than making up for it, with the type of activities we're having now. What we do is pick a team that is topical, a team that hits the Vincentian public, that makes
resonates.
Resonates at the time, and see how we could bring information of it. The information doesn't necessarily reside within ISOC or within IGF, but we bring the stakeholders together and let them speak, let them disseminate the information so everybody benefits. This year, we are talking about digital transformation, which is a big topic in government and civil.
And we'll talk about what that means exactly later on.
Right, and that is something we thought that everybody is talking about it. Everybody is wondering what it is. Everybody wants to know what it entails, how it is going to affect them, how it is going to affect their lifestyles, what accommodations they have to make to get into it, what opportunities it could bring for them. And we thought, boy, let's get talking. I think we approached the director of digital transformation, Winston. And Winston was quite warm to the idea. And we worked together to develop this thing, and today we had a pretty successful event. It's not the end of it, but it started, and tomorrow we will continue with ICANN element of the road show, because it's not just an IGF affair this year. It's a merger or a sort of a collaboration of efforts. The ISOC with their IGF, ICANN with a road show that they've been taking around the Caribbean, and has decided to let's bring it to St. Vincent around this time. And so you would find that those people who are affiliated with ISOC and IGF would realize that there were some changes in the dates and so on. We had to make some adjustments to accommodate different schedules. So everything has come together at this particular time.
And at this particular time, I think it's a good time to bring in Mr. ICANN himself and tell us how tomorrow actually is the day when you have for yourself in terms of the activities for the next 2 days. Well, we have one completed already, so 2 days. Day 2 is ICANN Day. Tell us where ICANN fits in. What is ICANN?
Well, let's start with the acronym first. ICANN, ICANN, 2 names, 2 N's, 1 for names and 1 for numbers. ICANN is a global not-for-profit corporation which works along with global partners to ensure a single, stable, open and interoperable internet. And it's interesting because the internet itself is a collaborative project. There is no single organization that runs or owns the internet. So by definition, collaboration is at the basis of everything that happens on the internet. So in order for the internet to work, ICANN manages these numbers which identify every single mobile phone and every single device that's connected to the internet. And that's one of the N's in our name, ICANN. But ICANN also manages the domain names, the top-level domain names, .com, .org, .vc, and all of the others. And we do this management based on policies that are actually developed by you, the multi-stakeholder community. Who is the multi-stakeholder community? Representatives of business, representatives of government, end users, civil society. All of these various groups represent the community, the ICANN multi-stakeholder community, which the ICANN organization mobilizes and facilitates in terms of policy discussions, which eventually result in actual policies that determine the type of internet that we get every day for work and for social interaction and so on. So from time to time, what we've discovered in our engagement is that the full story is not always known by stakeholders. So we have to do some sort of outreach to explain to them what ICANN is, what the multi-stakeholder model is, and most importantly, how they can participate in decision making. I'll give you a quick example. When the internet was started, there were some generic top-level domain names, .com, .org, .edu, and so on. You, the community, decided that those domain names were not sufficient. There was not enough competition. There was not enough choice. So a stakeholder decided, well, let's raise this as an issue. ICANN, could you please organize some discussions? Could you help us along the policy development process? And the end result of that was a new policy which facilitated the introduction of over 1,200 new top-level domain names being added into the root of the internet. So now, in addition to .com, .org, .vc, and so on, you have .education, .doctors, .banks, .hospitals. Some companies like IBM, you have .ibm, .apple, you have locations, .nyc, .paris. There are so many new top-level domains. And how did that arise? It arose because you, the community, the multi-stakeholder community, decided and felt that there should be more competition. Now, here's the issue. The issue is that ICANN facilitates these meetings globally. And what we have invariably found is there is very low participation from not only St. Vincent, but the entire Caribbean. And this is what brings us to the roadshow. So the purpose of this roadshow is to conduct outreach, explain why paying attention to what happens in the ICANN community is so important. And there are many issues. I just spoke about one, the domain names, but we have issues of security. We have issues of universal acceptance, which we will be discussing tomorrow. What is universal acceptance? In some of these new domain names, we have foreign language characters, Chinese characters, Arabic characters, and there are also email addresses in those new systems. And these email addresses are not always accepted by the local system. So, I mean, if you give me the mic again, I could go on talking for the whole show.
Okay, so
but I'll stop there for now.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to take our first break because we haven't even heard from Winston yet, but we'll start with you when we come back from our first break because you two guys are doing so well. You took up that entire segment. We'll be back in just a moment.
Play for.
Here's your chance to win even more from the National Lotteries Authority. When you play 4 2 times daily, choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9, and you can win up to $5,000 with a $1 inline bet.
Make sport and back it up too. That's right. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you.
Get your tickets Monday to Saturday for the Play 4 midday draw at 1:50 p.m. and the Play 4 night draw 9 p.m. So easy
Play
to play.
for, you'll win even more.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it. You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
George, as part of this country's digital transformation. You're heading up quite a huge project. Tell us about this initiative.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for having me. To speak on the digital transformation project, I need to go back a little bit and talk about the CASIP project. The CASIP, which was the Caribbean Communications Infrastructure Project. And under that project, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines invested in broadband network, which includes a government-wide area network, and also the installation of a subsea fiber to the Grenadines, which connects to Grenada. So we have this broadband network, subsea fiber, lots of speeds, and so that is an infrastructure. It's like a road, and on that road now we need to put vehicles, we need to put services. So now comes the genesis of the digital transformation project. Now the digital transformation project is being implemented in the 4 Windward Islands, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is financed by the World Bank to the tune of US $94 million. In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the government is investing US $30 million into this project. Now, the development objective for the project is to increase access to digital services, technologies, and skills by governments, businesses, individuals in the project countries. Also, the project is also comprised of regional as well as national activities, and the implementation time frame is 5 years. The project commenced in June 2021 and would be completed by hopefully June 2026. Also, there are global, regional, and national imperatives that drive digital transformation. So, we spoke about the internet, the telecommunications networks, and so on. Now, digital transformation is critical to recognizing economic opportunities and sustainable livelihoods. As a matter of fact, it is part of the UN SDGs, Sustainable Development Goal 9, calls for building resilient infrastructure, fostering innovation, and universal access to ICTs. So it's speaking to some of the things that my colleagues spoke of earlier. In terms of the specific national drivers, we have the National Economic and Social Development Plan 2013 to 2025, which calls for economic diversification, human capital development, building climate resilience, and improving efficiency of the public sector. And this is a key one. Also improving our overall environment for doing business efficiently, which is a major driver also for attracting foreign direct investment, and also to promote the delivery of 24/7, anytime, anywhere delivery of government services. Now, it's $30 million, and it's a mouthful. It's a lot of things that the project is doing. However, there are 4 components of the project. Component 1 is the digital enabling environment, and I must indicate, so there are regional project activities led by the OECS Commission, the ECCB, ECTEL, and CARICOM Impact. So under component 1, you have the support for the development of a positive enabling environment for the region's digital economy that drives competition, investment, and innovation while promoting trust and security of online transactions. So under that, you have things related to the telecommunications, legal and regulatory environment, specifically to support greater telecoms sector competition. That goes to the bottom line in terms of the prices that you would pay for broadband. Also matters of quality of service, as well as addressing resilience and emergency response capabilities of critical communications infrastructure. And this component is led by ECTEL and the NTRCs. The other second component on the subcomponent on the component 1, the digital enabling environment, speaks to digital financial services. This is the domain of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, and it aims to spur greater innovation, investment, and adoption of digital financial services across the region. And the activities under this include updating the payment systems, Act and Money Services, Business Act, and so on. Also undertaking demand-side surveys in financial access and usage, development of an overarching payment system strategy for the region, and the technical design of a regional instant payment system, which is open to banks, non-banks, and ECCU governments to reduce the costs and time required to make payment transfers. Subcomponent 3 addresses the matter of cybersecurity, data protection, and privacy. More and more as you go on to digital services, you require the ring fencing to protect your privacy, protect your data, as well as secure your networks. You're dealing with financial transactions online, etc. So in the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this component is being handled by CARICOM Impacts and the OECS Commission at the regional level, but at the national level, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines thought it critical, and they added some additional resources to this aspect. I could speak to what are the different things that would be done under this, but I will.
We'll do that later on.
Yeah, move ahead. Also, under component 2, it's a big project. So these are national level activities in the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and these are the crucial activities under the project. So you have digital government infrastructure, platforms and services, and this is to support public sector modernization. Remember, I spoke about the efficiency of the public sector, so that it improves the delivery of digital public services to individuals and businesses. And there are about 2 subcomponents here. One has to do with the cross-cutting enablers of digital government operations and services. It's a lot. Here we are looking at implementing a digital economy transformation strategy. And this strategy...
Yeah, we'll talk about the strategy later on because it's important. Right. But let's talk a bit more about the theme of today's event was... It says here, now I can't find it, and it was right there. You remember it?
Well, the general theme was Internet for all, securing our digital future.
Okay.
Right.
Is Internet for all possible?
It is.
Okay. Tell
Internet
us.
for all is possible. Actually, I think what Internet for all means is the availability of Internet for all. If you don't take it, if you don't use it, it's still there for you. And I think we're close to having accessibility to Internet for all. There are some people who don't have it at every place. And for instance, up in the mountains where people want to do some communication and some transactions for their farming, for their out of the way type of activity. So that you might on. But in the residential areas, I think St. Vincent's pretty well served with internet. But they still have to find. There are some people who fall below the line, and those are the people who we have to try to accommodate. You know, there are some people below the cracks. And when we had the issue with COVID and the eruption and so on, there are some children who just didn't have these devices. They may have internet, but the internet may be available, but they don't have a device to take advantage of it. And so those are the things that but from a facility standpoint, from a strategic standpoint, from a services standpoint, internet could be available for all and yet not being accessed by all. And so the drive is to get people, and you will find at one particular point somebody will have internet, and 2 years down the road something happened and they just don't have it again. So, you know, it's a cycle. It's something that'll probably be going over and over. So probably you have to be addressing this for some time.
The whole concept of internet for all can mean different things to different people. When you look at the very structure of our ICT week, what do you see? You see an internet governance forum on day one. Who are we targeting? We are targeting the multi-stakeholder community, all. When I walked into the hall this morning, the first person that I saw sitting down was someone in a nurse's uniform. And I honestly thought that I was in the wrong place and maybe there was something else going on, but I was not in the wrong place. And this was someone practicing as a nurse, and they were both male and female, who were so interested in what we were going to be discussing that they decided to attend. Who else did we have? We had representatives from various government ministries. We had the internet service providers, both of them, Flow and Digicel. We had representatives from the NTRC. We had business people. So when you look at who we are referring to as a target, the concept is that we are speaking to all. So the first thing is that everyone needs to understand what it means to have internet. You know, not just, okay, so we go to sleep at night, the last thing we do, we check our messages. We wake up in the morning, we check our messages. All of that is, and all of these important projects that you heard Winston speak about, they're all based on a functioning layer of interoperable and secure internet that everyone can access. So the first day was speaking generally to the end users. Tomorrow we are going to be looking at some technical concepts. One important concept of universal acceptance. All of these new top-level domain names that we spoke about, all systems should accept them. ICANN has done its bit, and those email addresses, Arabic, Chinese, Russian, Indian, foreign characters, and so on, all of those actually work. But the issue is some of our local systems, our hotel systems, were only designed with .com, .edu, and .net in mind. So when they see a longer top-level domain name, it doesn't actually work. And that is one technical issue. The other technical issue that we're going to be looking at, and you heard Winston speak about the financial services getting involved, you know, and having projects related to financial services. Do we ever want our financial data to be misappropriated or to have a man-in-the-middle attack where we think we are going into our bank's website, but really and truly we are going into a hacker's website? No. So we're going to be talking about how we can protect our systems from those types of attacks and the role of the various entities in the overall puzzle in making sure everything works. For example, there's something called DNSSEC. You don't need to know what it means. All it is a layer of security that makes online transactions safer. That's all you need to know. But for DNSSEC to work, ICANN has to do some encryption at the top level. And then as you go down the chain, your web service providers have to do something, your internet internet service providers have to ensure that they are letting DNSSEC traffic pass and they are doing DNSSEC validation, and the end user has to be careful, what websites he's going to or he or she is going to. So there are roles for every person in the chain. And tomorrow and Friday, we will be looking a little bit deeper. What do you, as an end user wanting to use online banking, need to say to your internet service provider? Digital, Flow, do you have DNSSEC enabled? Because I understand that it will make my online banking simple. That's what it is. But then the Flow and Digital engineers need to be in the room, the end users need to be in the room, and we all need to have this conversation, which will result in having more safe financial transactions.
We'll take a second break. When we come back, we want to talk about the second part of the theme, which deals with securing our digital future. How do we do that? Back in just a moment. Welcome back. Before we took the break, we were talking about the whole question of internet for all and what it really means. And it seemed as though we weren't really quite finished with that conversation, because Willis during the break was asking me what I think it means when we say internet for all. But there are a lot of issues at stake, the whole question of affordability, connectivity. So that's why I asked the question, is it a reality, internet for all?
We can't say it's not a reality. It's possible. It's something we have to keep striving to get. There's a little light out there that we can get to at some point.
And what are some of the things we need to do to ensure that it does become a reality?
Well, one of the main things is affordability, but access, and a reason to have it, as Winston is alluded to now. We're going to have more and more use for internet, and it's going to become more a need, a requirement. Internet for all. It's going to be a bigger part of your life, and so you must strive to give everybody who wants to have access to internet, regardless to what the cost would be. Maybe some subsidization may be necessary. Maybe some elements of the internet may have to be free, and so on. But it's been worked out.
How is your project addressing that issue and also addressing the whole question of securing our internet or digital future?
Securing our data. So, if I may jump off from where Willis left off, we have to see the internet and all the things attendant to that, the broadband network, etc., as a national good, right? So, just as we have roads, essential, the road is a national good, the internet must also be seen as a national good, and it requires the different stakeholders, the partners, everybody to work together to make sure that it is accessible and affordable to all, right? Now, in terms of securing our future, this is digital transformation, and we need to use it to make sure that benefits accrue to the entire population. Now, how do we plan to do that? Many of the services that we actually do today, we take a lot of time in doing them. And there is what you call opportunity cost. If I use an example of a farmer, the farmer has his land to work, to cultivate. But then he has to leave. He might be the one who has to, pay the bills. He may have to leave the north of the country to come into town to pay his driver's license or something like that. In the case of the digital transformation project, we are putting in place a new tax information management system. And essentially, a service like paying the driver's license is one of those things that once it's up and running and secured and so on, I will speak to security, he can stay in his bedroom at his convenience
Or on his farm.
And make that payment, right? And basically his driver's license, it has some other attendant things. You may have to mail a new driver's license or what. You may not necessarily need to mail one. You could actually have your driver's license on your phone. So you have a digital driver's license, right? So this is the area we are going to. Now, in terms of security, I spoke to things such as cyber security, right? And essentially, we are looking at the whole policy, legal and regulatory framework for cyber security, as well as setting up what we call computer emergency response teams, providing the hardware and so on. Also training our professionals and civil servants and so on to be cyber aware and so on. And in addition to that, put in place national data protection and privacy laws and data access and exchange policies. Just to say add some more to the whole business of digital transformation, I want to speak to some key services that we are looking at. We are looking at an electronic single window for trade facilitation. We are looking at a new tax information management system. We are looking at a single window for land and property transactions. And core to that is what you call the digital public infrastructure. And within that, we are looking at upgrading the civil registry service. So basically, you could register your birth and death online, or your marriages and so on. We are looking at upgrading the ID system as well. That is part of the digital public infrastructure. We are looking at an e-government payment platform and an authentication platform for citizens or residents to sign on to access services. So this, in a sense, will benefit a lot of people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, for example, additional services, if you have to renew a passport, you could stay in the Grenadines, apply and renew your passport. The matter might need to pick it up, right? So that is how we are moving forward in terms of the project. There are many other aspects of the project, but in time.
Is digital literacy part of that?
Right. So digital literacy is a key component. In component 3 of the project, we are looking at digital skills training. There are basic digital skills as well as intermediate and advanced skills and so on. And we have to create the awareness in terms of the whole matter of change management, walking persons through, how to do things. That has to be constant. So I'm sure, not much persons were familiar with using WhatsApp at a particular time, but it has diffused throughout the population. Ageable and young ones are using it. I mean, not everybody, but these things have a way of diffusing, but we have to do the literacy. I agree with you. And the awareness.
Critical. What are some of the challenges you have encountered in the execution of this project?
Challenges. I just want to say one of the main things is that the project is big. It has a lot of moving parts. And essentially the human resource capacity within government, because for each and many of the components of the project, you will find the same person. You have to, you have to talk to them, you have to deal with them, they have to sign off on things before certain things move ahead. But we are pretty much moving forward. One of the things we have in terms of the implementation of the project, from where I sit, the project implementation unit, we have an implementation support firm in Ernst & Young. They provide technical advisory, procurement, contract management, and change management services to us. They have about 12 or 13 different experts working, and from time to time, if there are issues that may come up, they will provide resources to assist us with the implementation of the project.
What about support from partners such as ICANN and ISOC, etc.? Is that forthcoming? What role?
Well, I'm happy to hear this discussion about human resources, because in everything that you do in a digital transformation project, you are dealing with human beings, and you will always encounter the issue of capacity building. And one of the points that we are trying to communicate at this roadshow is that organizations like ICANN have substantial resources at their disposal which can be used to assist in a digital transformation process. And the two ways in which this can happen. The first way is in one which you would least expect, by simply attending an ICANN meeting. During the coffee breaks, during the social events, you develop relationships with peers. When you sit in St. Vincent, you figure, I have this problem, and I'm the only one in the world with this problem. But then you go to an ICANN meeting and you decide that you and 1,000 other people have the same issue. Some of those people have solved the issue and are in a position to provide you with information on best practices which can actually help you in your situation. So you have this relationship, and then after attending an ICANN meeting in person, you have a problem, you can send an email or you can pick up the phone, but it's not an ordinary email. It's an email to somebody who you've made eye contact with, somebody who you've spoken to, somebody who you've sang karaoke with, who you have a relationship with. So you feel comfortable, for example, sharing, a security detail that you may have in your country and so on. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is that there are very high-level resources within organizations like ICANN itself. My vice president, along with one of our senior engineers, have traveled today to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I can't find them yet, so I suspect they may be enjoying some of the Vincentian hospitality and your beautiful beaches and so on, but they are here. And one of the things that's going to happen is Nicholas, who's one of our engineers, will be talking about what the engineers need to do to implement some of these projects. We're talking about financial services being secure. Nicholas from the ICANN team, as well as all of the other persons on that team, are available to you. And remember, I started off by saying that ICANN is a not-for-profit organization. We're not charging you for any services or anything like that. We are facilitating. And one of the things that we do regularly is have capacity building on topics like DNSSEC, where we deliver information on best practices which can help you in the implementation of your projects.
Okay, so somebody was saying it will take time. During my work in the US, I worked for cyber companies who were servicing credit unions, banks, offering cyber education and training to both employees and clients. And the US is more developed than us, so we should not feel that we are too far behind. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. We'll take a final break and come back and talk about the digital strategy that you are working on. Back in just a moment.
Play for.
Here's your chance to win even more from the National Lotteries Authority when you play for 2 times daily. Choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9 and you can win up to $5,000 with a $1 inline bet.
Make sport and back it up too. That's right. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you.
Get your tickets Monday to Saturday for the Play for midday draw at 1:50 p.m. and the Play for night draw 9 p.m. So easy to play.
For, you'll win even more.
You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Welcome back. Before we talk about the strategy, we want to touch on the importance of education in this entire process. How critical is this?
Theresa, I'm happy that the last message you read out mentioned education. That person is a cyber expert. He is focused on... She is focused on educating people. And it speaks to the point that one of your largest vulnerabilities in security is the users of the system, and the easiest way to guard against that is education. Keep letting them know what not to do, what is a risk, how to use what to do with passwords, how not to leave your systems on, log out, education is a very important element in security, cyber security too, because your risk is within. Of course, there is software and hardware mitigations that Winston and the other thing will put, infrastructure will put in place to deal with other to mitigate against that type of risk as well. But education, you can't go against education. There's no way. Nothing is better than that knowledge of what not to do, of how to do what in the best way.
Okay, we are moving to develop a digital strategy, you say, and tell us what that would take and why is it necessary for us to move in this direction at this particular time.
Okay, so essentially this project, this digital transformation project is focused, yes, in government, but to affect the wider society. We last had an ICT strategy 2010-2015. So some time has elapsed and there is no real strategy in between there. So under the project, we are looking at what you call a digital economy transformation strategy. And we are looking at all sectors in the economy. Key sectors, agriculture, how digital technologies can enhance and boost agriculture, health, education, tourism, the creative and cultural industries. We are at the place where we have a draft of that strategy. Consultants would have met with about more than 100 persons, but we received feedback on the draft, so we have a second iteration of that strategy. In September, early September, we are looking at validation workshops going to the different sectors to validate that strategy. The strategy is for a period of 5 years, a roadmap for 5 years, and then we would seek to finalize that strategy and provide it to the Cabinet of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It offers an opportunity for persons in different sectors to make a contribution to that and to lay out that roadmap for the next 5 years in terms of the items and projects that we need to put in place to push us forward, to push the economy forward in different areas.
Sounds like a very interesting topic to bring you back again to talk about only the digital strategy. Let's go back, as in our final moments, let's go back to our roadshow and what's happening over the next 2 days.
Tomorrow we have ICANN, and they will expand on all their issues. Your Vice President is
Yes, our Vice President for Latin America and the Caribbean is here, and he will be speaking on the importance of paying attention to what's happening in ICANN for the individual users, for governments, and for businesses. I will be making a small presentation on how you can participate in ICANN, illustrating the fact that there are several constituencies within ICANN and a place for every different type of stakeholder that you can find. And we'll be speaking specifically to developers as well. There's some important issues. I mentioned universal acceptance, but I really want to highlight someone that we have not spoken about at all, Caribnog. Caribnog is hosting a technical forum on the Friday. The acronym Caribnog stands for the Caribbean Network Operators Group. And Teresa, the best way I can describe that is a family of technicians and network engineers that spans the entire Caribbean, and it also spans the different organizations, the different telcos. So, they say, well, the politicians appear not to be getting on too well, but the people in the trenches, the sports persons and so on, they all get along well with each other. So in this community, this family called Caribnog, you have a group of persons that help each other. I'm having a problem in St. Vincent, but that problem has been had by somebody in Guyana or Grenada or St. Lucia or higher up the chain. I just send a WhatsApp and I can get some assistance. So the forum on Friday, the technical forum, will really be of interest to IT managers and IT technicians in every organization. And I know that every organization uses computers, so there must be somebody, whether it's full-time or part-time, in every organization in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who should be attending that meeting tomorrow. If we need more chairs, I can talk to Willis and he can get the ISOC chapter to get some more chairs. But every technician, every IT manager should come out, and especially developers. We're going to be having some students who are on a coding workshop during the summer. It's about 20 of them. I think they will be attending. All of that to prepare your human resource here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to embark upon that important mission of executing your digital transformation.
So that speaks to the span of the conversation on Friday. We have IT managers who are seasoned, well-aged people, and we also have some students. And so we'll be speaking at both levels.
Great. And it's all happening at Methodist Church Hall in Kingstown from 9 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah? Well...
And for Caribbean people, I know my Caribbean people, the entire event is free. There are no registration fees. And in addition to that, today the food was fantastic. and lunch and breaks will be provided. So you don't have to worry about where am I going. If I go down to the Methodist Church Hall, what am I going to do for lunch? And so you don't have to worry about that. Come on over.
And if for some reason you couldn't make it there, we'll accommodate you where you could log on.
Great. Yes, it's on YouTube.
I actually
looked at some of it before I got
there.
Don't let
that be your first choice.
Yes.
You want you there.
Yeah.
But
so there you go. It's a good note, I think, on which to end a very interesting and engaging conversation. Thanks to the gentlemen who joined me this evening at the round table. Of course, Mr. Daniel with the S, that is.
Very correct.
Willis Williams, and of course Winston George. Thank you for joining us. Join us again next week, Wednesday, for another edition of Roundtable Talk, and we'll be talking steel pan next Wednesday. Have a good evening. Bye.
I have to
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.